Have you ever wondered why movie theaters smell like popcorn? You walk into a cinema, and before you even see the screen, before you even buy a ticket, before the movie even starts, you smell it. Warm, buttery popcorn. And suddenly, even if you were not hungry, you want some. A giant bucket. Maybe a drink. Maybe candy too. But here's the strange part. Popcorn did not always belong in movie theaters. Today, it feels impossible to imagine a cinema without popcorn. But in the beginning, many movie theaters actually hated it. They thought popcorn was messy, too noisy, too cheap, too distracting. Early movie theaters wanted to feel classy, elegant, and sophisticated. They had carpets, curtains, fancy decorations, and an atmosphere closer to a theater or opera house. Popcorn did not fit that image. It was street food. It was sold by vendors outside. It was something people ate at fairs, parks, and sidewalks. So how did this simple snack take over one of the biggest entertainment industries in the world? The answer is a mix of timing, smell, money, and one very powerful idea. Popcorn was cheap to make, easy to sell, and almost impossible to ignore. In the early days of cinema, movies were silent. People watched without spoken dialogue, so theaters wanted the experience to feel clean and serious. A loud, crunchy snack was not exactly welcome. But then everything changed. Movies became more popular, theaters became more crowded, and most importantly, the economy got worse. During the Great Depression, many people had less money, but they still wanted cheap entertainment. Going to the movies was one of the few affordable escapes from daily life, and popcorn was perfect for that moment. It was cheap for customers, but for sellers, it had a huge profit margin. A small amount of corn kernels could turn into a large, fluffy snack that filled a big bag or bucket. That meant people felt like they were getting a lot, and theaters, or vendors near theaters, could sell it for much more than it cost to make. At first, many cinemas still refused to sell popcorn inside. So street vendors did something clever. They set up popcorn machines right outside movie theaters. People bought popcorn before entering, then carried it inside. The smell followed them. The crunch followed them. The habit followed them. And theater owners started to notice something very important. People wanted popcorn, and someone else was making money from it. So eventually, theaters stopped fighting popcorn and started selling it themselves. That was the turning point. Because once popcorn moved inside the theater, it was no longer just a snack. It became part of the movie experience. And this is where the business gets interesting. Movie theaters do not make money only from tickets. A large part of their profit comes from concessions: popcorn, soda, candy, nachos, and other snacks. And popcorn is almost perfect for this business. It smells amazing. It is cheap to produce. It can be sold in large sizes. It makes people thirsty, which helps sell drinks. And it feels emotionally connected to the movie experience. You are not just buying corn. You are buying the feeling of going to the movies. That is why the smell is so important. Popcorn is one of the few snacks that advertises itself through the air. You do not need to see a poster. You do not need someone to explain it. The smell reaches you before the counter does. It creates a memory. For many people, the smell of popcorn instantly means cinema, excitement, trailers, dark rooms, big screens, and a night out. That connection is incredibly powerful. Because once a product becomes part of a ritual, people stop questioning the price. Think about it. A bucket of popcorn at the movies can cost much more than the same amount of popcorn at home. But people still buy it. Why? Because the price is not only for the popcorn. It is for the ritual, the moment, the atmosphere, the feeling that this is what you do at the cinema. And theaters know this. That is why popcorn is often sold in sizes that make the bigger option look like a better deal. A small popcorn might already be expensive, but for just a little more, you can get a large. And suddenly, the large feels smart, even if you did not need that much. This is called value perception. You feel like you are saving money by spending more. The same thing happens with combo deals. Popcorn plus drink. Large popcorn plus large soda. Family bucket. Movie night combo. These offers are designed to make extra spending feel normal, even reasonable. And once you are already inside the theater, your choices are limited. You cannot easily leave, buy snacks somewhere else, and come back. So the theater controls the environment. The smell is there. The counter is there. The big buckets are there. The bright menu is there. The movie is about to start. And your brain says, just get it. That is how a simple snack became a cinema empire. But popcorn did not only survive because it was profitable. It survived because it fits the movie experience perfectly. It is easy to share. It lasts through the film. It does not need a plate or fork. It can be eaten in the dark. It feels casual, fun, and social. And unlike a full meal, it does not completely distract from the movie. It became the perfect background snack. Always there, but never the main event. And yet, financially, it became one of the most important parts of the business. There is also something almost funny about it. Theaters once saw popcorn as low class and annoying. But later, popcorn helped many theaters survive. A snack they tried to keep out became one of their biggest sources of profit. And today, popcorn is so deeply connected to cinemas that if a theater did not sell it, people would probably feel like something was missing. That is the real power of habit. A product can start as something optional. Then it becomes familiar. Then it becomes expected. And finally, it becomes part of the culture. Popcorn did not take over movie theaters because it was the fanciest snack. It took over because it was cheap, profitable, easy to smell, easy to eat, and perfectly timed. It turned a simple movie ticket into a bigger purchase. It turned waiting in the lobby into a sales opportunity. It turned smell into advertising. And it turned a handful of corn into a symbol of entertainment. So the next time you walk into a movie theater and suddenly crave popcorn, remember this. That craving may feel completely natural, but it was built over decades. By vendors, by theaters, by smell, by habit, by smart pricing, and by the simple fact that popcorn made movie nights feel complete. You may think you are just buying a snack, but really, you are buying one of the most successful traditions in entertainment history. And the funniest part? The movie has not even started yet.